I'm teaching classes, they're going really well. I reach my peak, and then once I reach my peak, I feel like it just slowly started to decline. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie, and if you're new here, welcome. It's been a very long time since I have been on YouTube consistently. I want to say like 5 years, and it's been a journey in that 5 years. And so I kind of just want to talk about my experience over the last 5 years, my thoughts, where we're going moving forward. And I just really want to connect back with my YouTube platform and build community. And this is my first step. So if you're new here, just to give you like a quick background, I started my YouTube channel right when I was in college 9 years ago. It's when I first discovered my love for makeup, and I started a YouTube channel. After I dropped out of school, became a makeup artist, I was able to grow my business very quickly and just obtain the success that I was looking for as a makeup artist. Like all the goals that I set off for myself, I checked them all off. On that journey as a makeup artist, I was on YouTube making my videos because I did have hopes to build a really big platform on YouTube. And as you know, YouTube is a slow grind. It takes time. And if I can remember, I just remember at points in my journey just getting very frustrated, getting very discouraged, feeling like my channel's not growing, feeling like my social media platforms are not growing. Like I was seeing the success that I wanted in real life in my makeup business, but I don't feel like that success was like translating to the growth that I wanted to see on social media. So I was a makeup artist for 7 years, somewhere around there, and in 2020 I got my esthetician license because I kind of just felt like I had done all I could do as a makeup artist, and it was just time for me to pivot. Going back, when I first discovered makeup, that was the first time I discovered what a passion was, and it just lit me up inside. And I read a book, and it's called 6 Months to Six Figures by Peter Vu, and that book, like, it lit a spark inside of me. Like after listening to one page of that book, I'm like, I'm dropping out of college, I'm out of here, I'm done. And like from then on, this last 9 years, my entrepreneurship journey has been such a big part of who I am. And I want to talk about how like now now I'm realizing that my entrepreneurship is just one part of who I am, and it's not who I am. And I kind of have made it my personality. And even when I'm on social media, like what I do is like who I am. I'm so attached to that. And now I'm just in like a different space. And so that's what I really want to like get into, of just how I'm moving forward and like separating myself from these like things, like these accomplishments and these goals that I'm setting out for myself, more of like who I am outside of what I'm trying to accomplish, if that makes sense. Fast forward, I go to esthetician school in 2020. I get my license, and my business, it takes off even more from there because I had already built my platform. I spent a long time, 5, 6, 7 years building my makeup platform. So by the time I started my aesthetics career, it just took off, and like I made the most money I ever made as an esthetician, and it just, things really just like, it was crazy. So then I created a women's feminine care product. If you're not familiar, I created My Bikini, which is a 3-step system designed to treat the bikini area and all the skin concerns in there. And that was like a really big accomplishment for me, to create my own product. And creating a product really challenged me, and I feel like I really like struggled, because it's like through my entrepreneurship journey, like my goal has to become a millionaire. My goal has to become to have a big platform. So like those are ultimately like my 2 biggest goals that I have for myself, and I haven't reached those two biggest goals. And so you can imagine when you set really high goals for yourself and you're not achieving them, how you feel. Like I have felt like a failure. I have felt like I'm doing something wrong, that it's just taking too long. Like I have felt all these different things, and I have like really beat myself up about it. Like even though I did very well in my aesthetics career, my product, it was like, I feel like it was a very slow, like it just things weren't taking off the way that I wanted to. And like it was, like I said, I just became very frustrated. So I taught sugar waxing classes, I did vajacials, I helped other estheticians build their businesses. Like I feel like I really did a lot of work, but I still wasn't fully satisfied with the work that I've done, because like these bigger goals still have not been achieved. And it's like at a certain point, you know, I'm teaching classes, they're going really well, I reach my peak, and then once I reach my peak, I feel like it just slowly started to decline. And it's so crazy, I'm like admitting this online because I feel like people's perception, they'll see you online and like just assume that you're doing so well. And not to say that I wasn't doing so well, but at a certain point it did start to decline. The market changed, the economy changed, it's just all these different factors, and then now you're trying to navigate that as a business owner. It was just very frustrating. And also in that time, I got married in 2020, so then my life really changed. Like around November 2023, I got that feeling again, and that feeling where like it's time to pivot. Like I get that feeling at some point, like I got that feeling with makeup, and that's when I moved to aesthetics. And then now I got that feeling in aesthetics where I'm like, oh, you know, I really don't want to do this anymore. I really want to do something else. And then I was also just going through a rough patch in my personal life. I just felt like it was just like so much happening in my internal world, and I'm like trying to find myself as a woman approaching 30, as a woman that's like looking at like all that I have done over this last decade in my 20s, and like feeling like I should be a lot further along. And like, you know, just really reflecting like, okay, like we're going to be going into a new decade. How do we want to show up in this new decade? And it's like, I remember when I turned 30, like I made a vow to myself to not bring my baggage from my 20s into my 30s, because I had some really hard lessons in my 20s, I feel. And it was just so like, I'm like, I wanted to come into this new decade with a renewed sense of like, you know, with just like a lightness and not that like heaviness of all this like trauma that I've experienced. And so I was really committed to that. So yeah, so around November is when I announced that I will be shutting down my business, my aesthetics business. And my lease was up in February. So like I said, I announced it in November, and that's when I like told all my clients like, hey, you know, I love you, thank you for your support, but I will be closing this down, because I just felt like internally it was just time for me to go to that next level. I didn't know what that next level looked like, but I just knew it was time for me to pivot into something different. I know probably to people, actually I don't know, so I'm not even going to assume what people on the outside might be thinking, but because that's just my own projection of what I think people might be thinking. But I guess like I have a fear of people thinking that I'm all over the place and I can't stick with something, and it's just like, you know, like I don't know, it's just it's all these different feelings when you're online and you're sharing your platform and you're sharing what you do, and you have this perceived success, but you're still not feeling fully satisfied with where you're at. And yeah, like I feel like that literally sums up is like me trying to reach these goals and finally achieve this like success and happiness, and feeling like it's just slightly out of reach for myself. Once I closed down my business in February, I did not know what I was going to do. Thankfully, I have a husband that takes care of me, so I do have that leisure to you know, like to figure it out. For about like 4 or 5 months, like, you know, I kind of was just making content and just trying to follow my passion. Like I love perfume, so I was doing perfume videos. I love personal development. I was doing like day in the life coupled with like voiceovers talking about like different personal development topics. I love like my health and wellness, so I would go to the gym, and you know, I just spent more time in the gym, and I just spent more time like trying to connect back with myself. And I feel like that was like the beginning of this part of my journey. And then one day I decided that I was going to become a realtor. It was so funny the way it happened. A friend of my husband and she texts me and she's like, hey, that her and her husband were talking and they think that I would be a great luxury realtor. And what's so funny about this is that when she texted me and my husband were on our way to a party, and it was like a mansion party of this guy who is a mortgage broker, and he's like multi-millionaire, big house. So it's like the timing of it, and when I've been like waiting for this nudge to figure out what's next, and then I received that. And so after that, I did my research on real estate, on becoming a realtor, what that would look like. And so I was set to become a realtor in Nevada. Things happened. It took a change. I was just going again, like I've been battling my own personal things that I've been going through, and I decided I was gonna go to New York. I've always wanted to live in New York, and I just figured like, hey, it's now or never. Like, I just have to take this leap for myself. I have a very strong urge to do this, and so let me just follow it. I didn't know anything. I just literally completely moving off faith. I moved to New York with nowhere to stay, and you know, like, that's a whole nother story in itself. But yeah, so moved to New York, go to real estate school in New York, get my real estate license, and I began working. And little did I know, the beginning of that was going to be the beginning of a very hard journey. It just challenged me in so many ways. It really forced me to have more faith and to trust, because I had no certainty. You know, like, real estate is very different. I'm in a new city, no one knows me, in a new career, and it's been very challenging these last 6 months. But I've really taken this time to just like to try to like let it mold me and change me from the inside out, instead of like becoming angry and bitter by what's happening to me. I've just really tried to like take the lessons and digest them slowly, and it's like, what is this trying to teach me? What do I need to learn from this? And really be transformed by that experience. I feel like personally I've done a good job at it. So I say all that to say, now I've arrived at this place where I'm realizing that I'm a woman, I'm an ambitious woman, but I'm a woman first. My entrepreneurship is just one part of me, and the reason why like chasing after this success is because of a feeling that I think it's going to give me, which there's nothing wrong with that, because we all want to be happy, feel good, and yada yada yada. But it's like everything that we're going after, we want it because we think it's going to make us feel a certain way. And I've really had to like really just look at myself and like decide, like, I can feel these feelings that I think these accomplishments are going to give me right now. I don't have to wait to receive this certain number on my social media platforms to be happy. I don't have to wait till I have a certain number in my bank account to feel like I'm successful, or feel like whatever feeling that I think I'm going to get. And so now, with me coming back on YouTube, my goal is to just solely build community. Like, that's what I really, really want. I want a community of like-minded women where we feel like where you see yourself in me, because I know how powerful that is. Like, when you're in a dark space or not so good of a space, but then you see someone like yourself somewhere, and it just gives you like that inspiration. I'm a multi-passionate woman, and my biggest passion is myself. Yes, I was passionate about makeup when I was a makeup artist. Yes, I was passionate about aesthetics when I was an esthetician. But ultimately, my biggest passion is me. I love improving myself. I love looking good. I love finding new things that I enjoy to do. I love everything that just helps me connect with myself. You know, like, I enjoy doing yoga because the way it makes my body feel. I love to eat good food because it makes me, like, I love to fine dine, and I love to shop, like, because of these, like, you know, like, these experiences, the way I feel when I'm doing them. And so that's what I realized, like, I've been searching for my passion all these years, and that's ever changing. But ultimately, the one constant is me, and that's when I realized, like, no, I'm my passion, you know? So as long as like I'm the focal point of it, it will never change, because yeah, my career might change, my interests might change, but I will always be me. And now I kind of want to separate myself from, not separate myself, but like I'm still learning, like I'm still figuring that out. But like now I think it'll be different for me showing up online when I'm not trying to show up as a realtor, or show up as a makeup artist, or a product owner, or esthetician, or a wife. Like, no, I just want to show up as Jamie. And today, Jamie is about to go do this, but tomorrow Jamie may be doing this, you know? And so that's really what I want to focus on. I want to focus on my consistency online, because I've been trying to navigate having a platform, and I feel like I've just kind of been missing the mark. Like, I don't know what it is and why I'm missing it, or what's not fully connecting, but I do believe that I'm meant to have a platform, and that's why I haven't given up on it. But I do realize that I need to be consistent, and I have not been the most consistent, and I'm really changing that. Like, I'm literally gonna write myself a contract. Like, we're not doing that. So yeah, if you are looking for a community, you're looking for just like some, like, your comfort, like, I want to be that, you know, like, I know how valuable that is in my life, and like I said, I'm committing myself to being consistent on this platform. I done got a new camera and a new laptop. I ain't got no excuses, none. So I need to be here, and like I said, I want to make it more about me instead of more about like the things that I do, because that's always changing, you know, but like, I'm always the constant. Just to give you a little like what might entail lifestyle, me and my husband like to travel and vacation. He has a brand, he has a nonprofit and a brand, and we do a lot of stuff with that. So I want to bring you guys along for that journey. It's Trigger Happiness. It's a mental health movement to just inspire people to find what triggers their happiness daily. It's a positive lifestyle. So yeah, you'll be seeing me traveling with my husband, doing those things, as well as I love perfume, makeup, skincare. I love to look my best and look good and just do what makes me feel good. So it'll be a lot of different things. So I would love for you to comment down below where you're at in your journey. What does this year look like for you? Where are you at? My word of the year was surrender, and like, I am fully committing myself. Like, every day I have to actively surrender. I'm so used to being in control. I'm so used to worrying. I'm so used to having anxiety, and that's not how I want to live my life anymore. Like, I want to just trust, have more faith, be carefree, and just have more fun. And so that's like what I'm actively working towards. So I hope that I get to just truly build that community on here, and to just inspire other women, whatever value that I can add to women. I hope that I can do that through this platform, and I can really connect with my audience here. And I promise to just be consistent. I'm promising that to myself. I will be talking more, and just let me know what you want to see from me. But if you watch this video to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it so much, just taking your time out to watch me. So, and I will see you guys in my next video.